Hello everybody, welcome to my brand new series, Attraction Reviews, where I will be personally reviewing and ranking a wide assortment of different amusement park attractions on my original rating scale. For the first episode, we will be covering a roller coaster that introduced me to launch coasters and frightened me to no end as a child. At Orlando, Florida's Hollywood Studios, or if you want to be technical, Disney's Hollywood Studios at Walt Disney World Resort, Rock and Roller Coaster, or if you want to be technical, G-Force Records presents Rock and Roller Coaster Starring Aerosmith, sits across from the iconic Tower of Terror, or if you want to be technical, the Twilight Zone Tower of Terror, at Disney's Hollywood Studios at Walt Disney World Resort. As the name suggests, Rock and Roller Coaster is based off the timeless American rock band, Aerosmith. If you're unfamiliar with the band, I don't know what to tell you because you must be living under about 50 different rocks. The ride opened to fanfare in 1999 while the theme park was still under the Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer name. Aerosmith themselves attended the opening of their ride, where select guests had an opportunity to sit alongside their favorite rock band. In 2002, an identical ride with a different plot and mildly different theming opened in Disneyland Paris. This ride has unfortunately closed within recent years and is most likely warning us of the future when it comes to the attraction in Orlando. So, before we meet that inevitable day, let's rejoice that this has not happened yet. Though there are numerous rumors as to what Rock and Roller Coaster could be replaced with a popular suggestion being Emperor's New Groove, which is a strange choice in my opinion. Then again, the iconic Splash Mountain in both California and Florida are being replaced with Princess and the Frog, a fact that will upset me until the end of days and I do not wish to discuss. Anyways, we'll be reviewing Rock and Roller Coaster based on 5 main categories on a scale of 1 to 10. Ride vehicle, theming, aesthetic, thrill and immersion, and innovation at time of ride's opening, of course. After that, we will award additional points based on 9 bonus categories. Since this is the first episode, I will briefly list those categories here. Immersive line queue, interactivity, history, ride upkeep, exterior decor and facade, characters and immersive staff, quality of animatronics, renovations, and story. While all these bonus categories will not be applicable to every attraction on attraction reviews, the overall score will be calculated based on number of points earned and the number of points possible after incorporating the applicable categories in their respective points. It is possible for an attraction to be rewarded negative points in a couple categories as well. Those are lack of ride upkeep and safety, and renovations. This means that it is possible for an attraction to be so awful that it receives a negative score. And trust me, I will be covering some inexplicably horrific rides that deserve such a score. But that is for the future. Now, let's turn our attention back to Rock and Roller Coaster. Ride vehicle, 7. While the ride vehicles for this ride appear stylish and some might consider it to be comfortable from a distance, as far as theme park standards go, I have to say that this is unfortunately not the truth once you see it yourself. This ride's over-the-shoulder restraints are a little uncomfortable, especially for myself since my collarbone is very prominent and the restraints are nowhere near the softest. Not to mention that anybody with longer legs than the average human being will experience a bit of leg pain from being squished into such a miniature space, such as myself, for example again. As far as comfort goes, these vehicles deserve a 3, but it is hard to argue the appeal of the limousine appearance and how well they accommodate the ride's setting and status of Aerosmith. Theming, 7. The fictional G-Force Records recording studio provides a great backdrop for the ride with appearances from Aerosmith themselves in a short pre-show. The ride features an actual plot where the band is in the middle of a recording session and their manager informs them that they are running late for a concert. Park guests are invited along to the concert in the ride's signature stretch limos. Guests then proceed to exit the recording studio and enter an alley that features references and puns to Aerosmith songs. Before boarding their limos, guests had the opportunity to watch other riders get launched into a pitch-black tunnel, which was torture to me as a child, seeing as I had an intense fear of the sudden speed and disappearance of everybody who rode it. After boarding the vehicle and experiencing the launch for themselves, guests are treated to numerous different Aerosmith songs depending on their vehicle. And yes, the songs and their sexual innuendos are still intact. Aesthetic. 8. It is obvious that the moment you see the ride's exterior facade, with the red Fender Stratocaster on full display and the upside-down limo hanging from the headstock, you can tell that the Disney Imagineers wanted the entrance to look as grand as possible. But while it may appear a little bland in comparison to what they are creating nowadays, in 1999 this facade was one of Disney World's best. Not only that, but the interior presents a convincing set of a recording studio with numerous instruments and equipment put on full display for everybody to see. Whether or not these instruments actually belong to the artist you are led to believe is something that is up to debate. I cannot find a true answer either way. I'm sure you could find the truth in a search through Reddit forums. Thrill and Immersion. 9. For me, thrill and immersion go hand in hand. A theme park attraction does not have to be the craziest in order to receive a high score in this category. If a ride manages to capture my attention and make me forget about the real world and immerse me in a world of wonder or excitement, that is all I need. I prefer a lot of dark rides and simulators over roller coasters because of the imagination involved. This ride, however, meets the quota on both ends of the spectrum. Rock and Roller Coaster is one of the most intense rides created by Disney Imagineers in North America. Depending on your perspective, personal preferences, and fears, this ride might top that list, with Disney California Adventure's The Incredicoaster and Epcot's Test Track taking the next 2 slots. Then again, you might be more susceptible to the drops of Tower of Terror in Guardians of the Galaxy Mission Breakout, or the G-forces of Mission Space. Whichever is at the top of your personal list, there is no doubt that Rock and Roller Coaster is a powerhouse when it comes to inducing adrenaline. The ride launches guests from 0 to 57 miles an hour in 2.8 seconds and has a few notable inversions, something generally unseen in most Disney attractions. Not to mention that the entire ride is indoors, making the use of inversions in a tight space much more impressive. Innovation. 6. Launch coasters are rare, even in 2021. In 1999, however, these coasters were seldom seen, and while that does not maximize Rock and Roller Coaster's innovation factor, since a roller coaster is just another roller coaster, it is definitely worth mentioning. Also, how many theme park attractions featuring prominent recording artists exist? The entire ride is based around the popularity and music of Aerosmith alone, and that is pretty sweet. Unfortunately, it takes a little more than that to make me consider a ride truly innovative. In the main categories, Rock and Roller Coaster garners a solid and respectable 36 out of 50 points. We're not finished though, since this coaster qualifies for more than just a few additional points categories. Immersive Line Queue, 5 out of 5 points. Interactivity, not applicable. History, 5 out of 10 points. This is the only additional points category to feature a possibility of earning 0 points, 5 points, or a full 10 points depending on the ride's status. While Rock and Roller Coaster is nowhere near a classic, being a Disney ride with a devoted fanbase, however, grants it the potential to be fondly remembered by theme park fans for years to come. Ride Upkeep, 5 out of 5 points. The ride is still in peak condition as it has been for years. Exterior decor and facade, 5 out of 5 points. Characters and immersive staff, 5 out of 5 points. The ride features a pre-show with Aerosmith themselves, and Disney cast members take part in making the recording studio experience feel real. That all accounts for creating that realistic and immersive environment we're looking for in this category. Quality of animatronics, not applicable. Renovations, 0 out of 5 points. While the ride has experienced renovations over the years, these have done nothing to add nor detract from the experience. I cannot award the additional points since the experience has not been improved upon or even slightly enhanced. Story, 5 out of 5 points. As minimalistic as the plot to this ride may be, it does what it has to and makes perfect sense in detailing what is happening and why guests are embarking on their journey in the limousines. As far as theme parks go, this is all that is necessary. Verdict. Overall, Rock and Roller Coaster receives 30 points out of the additional 40 points it qualifies for, bringing the total point score from 36 to 66, and that is out of a possible 90 points. After calculating the score, Rock and Roller Coaster Starring Aerosmith scores an equivalent of 73 out of 100, placing it within the rank of classics and future classics. With 50 out of 100 being an average score, Disney's Hollywood Studios' premier roller coaster is definitely a worthwhile ride that fans should experience before it meets an inevitable end like the coaster in Disneyland Paris. Thank you everyone for watching. I hope you enjoy this new series as much as I enjoy discussing and exploring everything related to theme parks. Make sure to like this video, subscribe, and stay tuned for more reviews, video game content, and whatever else I decide to dish out. The Pengy would appreciate it.